Hey, welcome to Pilates with Jen, and thanks for joining me. Welcome to Reformer 101, episode number 6. Today is all about balance and stability. Are you able to move one or two of your body parts without the rest of your body moving? So today's setup is going to be 2 reds and 1 blue. That's 2 heavies, 1 medium on my balanced body machine. Foot bar is in its normal position, headrest is down, straps connected, ready to go for when we need them. Once you have everything together, join me on the Reformer. We're gonna go ahead, lie ourselves down. Like I said, headrest is down at the moment. Heels are gonna come on the bars, sits bones distance apart. You want your feet or your toes flexed towards your nose. You want your abs drawn in towards your spine, but your rib cage soft, laying on that carriage mat. So today we're just going to begin focusing on balance stability. So that's through the core. Some of it you probably won't even know is balance and stability until I point it out. So let's begin with our warm-up. Arms are reaching down, palms facing down. We're going to begin with our lateral breath. Take a big deep inhale. Feel those ribs come in together, everything narrow as you inhale. Exhale as everything expands down at the rib cage. Again, inhale here. Exhale it out. We have one more. We're going to keep the same breath. Begin rolling through the hips or the pelvis. So next time you inhale, tuck that pelvis towards your nose. Come into that imprinted spine. Keep that back flat. Exhale as you roll that spine back into neutral. Inhale, flatten the back. Roll the spine towards the belly button, flatten that back into that imprinted spine. Exhale, roll the pelvis just to neutral. Let's go for 2 more. Flattening the back. Exhale as you come back to that neutral spine. 1 more here. When you come back to that neutral spine, I want you to be able to maintain that neutral spine. Use your arms to ground yourselves. You're going to lift the right leg or left leg to table, other leg to meet it. Neutral spine is still engaged. If I had a flashlight and stuck it underneath my lower back, the light would shine through. Abs pulled into the spine, rib cage is soft. Arms are anchored down. We're going to begin with toe taps, dropping the right foot down, heel touches the bar, pull it back up to center. Left leg taps the bar, pulls it back up to center, alternating from right to left. Now take your hands, bring them to the bony points of your hip bones or your pelvis, and I want you to make sure that you're maintaining that neutral spine, that you don't have that imprinted spine here. It's okay and safe to work in an imprinted spine, but for your abs to be fired up the most, you need to be in neutral. Let's go for 1 more each side. Once your left leg taps down, pulls back to center, hold it there. You're going to extend the right leg up towards the clouds, bend the knee back to center, watching for that pelvic stability. Left leg up towards the clouds, bring it back right to table. Alternate from right to left, still maintaining that neutral spine. Are your upper ribs still soft on that carriage mat? Think of your carriage being feedback today. So if you feel the carriage moving, you're not stabilizing it with your core. 2 more each side. Last one, right and left. Once legs come back to table, go ahead, bring them down to the foot bar. Find your feet sits bones distance apart. Arms are reaching down, coming into footwork. You can lift your head if you need to. Take an inhale to prepare. Exhale, heels are on the bar. Extend yourself out. Resist yourself in. So now remember, you don't want to touch that stopper. You want to stop with your glutes. Exhale as you push yourself all the way out. Breathe in as you come in. Breathe out, push out. Breathe in, come in. Balls of the feet are pushing down on an imaginary floor underneath you. Knees are tracking right over the hips. We have 3. Going into pulses after this for 2. Last one, come in halfway, pulse it in and out for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Extend it all the way out this last one. Bring it all the way in. Coming down to the balls of the feet, still hip distance. Heels are lifted, know where they are in space. Abs pulled in, rib cage is soft. Extend the carriage out. Resist it in. Breathe as you push out. Breathe in as you come in. Try not to crash into the bumper. Use your glutes to stop. We have 4 more here coming into those pulses for 3. 2. Last one, you're going to drop it in halfway. Keep those heels slightly lifted. Pulse it in and out. Don't touch the bumper. You're away from the bumper for 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one, extend it all the way out. Bring it all the way in. Excellent job. Heels are clicking together. Balls of the feet staying on the foot bar. Heels are staying lifted. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, extend out. Breathe in to come in. Feel those inner thighs squeeze together. Really think about that pressure coming through both heels equally. Pelvis is still quiet. Rib cage is still soft. We're going for 3 more here. And instead of pulsing this one, we're going to hold this one out. On this next one, hold yourself long. Now staying in that Pilates V, we're going to drop both heels underneath the foot bar. Watch the pelvis, that it stays on an equal plane. Lift the heels. Lower the heels. Lift. Lower. Let's go for 6. Think about that $100 bill. Don't let those heels disconnect even as you press underneath that foot bar. Stay honest within your range of motion. Last one. Come up on those toes. Bend those knees. Bring those heels. Second position wide, still on. Now we're coming to the heels of the feet. Flex the toes towards your nose. Inhale, extend it out, and bring it in. Think about both legs working equally. Rib cage is still soft to that carriage mat underneath you. We have 4. Going into those pulses in 3. Last one here, come halfway down. Pulse an inch up, inch down. Really think about pushing onto that imaginary floor with the balls of the feet. For 3, 2, 1, extend it all the way out. Bring it all the way in. Slide the balls back onto the foot bar, coming hip distance apart, coming in for full tendon stretch now. So extend yourself all the way out. Heels are lifted. Take an inhale. On that exhale, drop both heels underneath that foot bar. Lift and lower. Abs are pulled in. Pelvis is quiet. Rib cage is soft. Think about that lateral breathing. For 3, 2, last one, come up on those toes, bend your knees. Come on in, bring your knees to your chest, roll those ankles. Bring your feet back to the foot bar. You're going to go ahead, keep your feet hips distance apart. Heels are underneath your glutes. Headrest needs to be knocked down here. We're going to come into our bridging segment, so adjust yourself as needed. Roll those shoulders back. Palms are facing down towards the carriage mat. Heels or arches are on that bar. We're going to begin with those pelvic tucks like we did in the warm-up. I want you to go ahead, cut. Go ahead, roll those shoulders back. We're going to begin like we did in the warm-up. Keep those abs drawn into the spine. Now tilt that pelvis towards your nose so you're flat. So your back is flat, arms are on the carriage. When you're ready, we're going to articulate ourselves up. 1 vertebrae at a time, coming up all the way in to our articulation bridge. Abs are in towards the spine, knees to hips and hips to shoulders are all connected. Now you're trying to keep your carriage as quiet as possible. Stay here. We're going to lift the left leg, lift it up, tap it down. Now I want you to watch your hips. You're going to feel the right glute fire. So if you feel it, if it's too much, take your foot down towards the platform if you need to. You're keeping your hips on a level plane, tapping the toe, ball of the foot towards the foot bar, trying not to drop that left hip. Let's go for 3. Alternate to the other side in 2. Last 1. Put that foot on down. Equalize the weight. Hips are stable. Arms by your sides, gripping into that carriage mat. Remember, goal not to move the carriage. Right leg, lift to table. Stabilize through that left side. Tap the foot bar without dropping the hips. Lift it up. Squeeze through that back hamstring. You should feel it. Keep those hips on an equal plane. We got 4, 3, 2, last 1. Right foot's coming down. Lift the hips if they fell. Carriage still is not moving. Feel like you're pulling that carriage towards the foot bar. Abs are pulled in. Upper rib cage is soft. Shoulders are soft on that carriage mat. We're going to laterally tilt the hips towards the right. Laterally tilt the hips towards the left. Can you keep everything else quiet while you're moving and tilting your pelvis left and right? Concentration and control is the name of the game. Feel the abdominals firing up. Carriage is your feedback. Last 1 to each side. When you come back to center, lift those hips. Take an inhale. On that exhale, I want you to articulate yourself down, 1 vertebrae at a time. Think about popping popcorn as you roll yourself down. Find that length through the spine. You're going to come into that imprinted spine, finding yourself back into neutral. Go ahead, close that carriage. Bring your knees towards your chest. Roll those ankles. We're going to carefully go ahead, bring our feet back to the foot bar. If you like your headrest up, please go ahead and lift it. I'm going to lift mine. We're going to finish out footwork with some single leg footwork. So I'm going to start with my left leg coming into tabletop. My right heel is on the bar. We're only going to stay here for a short time. Arms are by our sides. Shoulders are back and down. Rib cage is soft. Take an inhale to prepare. Exhale. Extend the carriage out. Breathe in to bring it in. Breathe out to push it out. So think about everything staying quiet. You're balancing equally through your right hip and your left hip. You still have that neutral spine in position. You're not in that imprinted spine here, working those abs a little bit harder in this neutral spine. We're going to go for 3 more. And just like we did in footwork, we're going to come halfway in, do little pulses. This one, drop it in. Little pulses here, in and out. Stay away from the bumper. Use that glute, stop the carriage, push it out. Remember, always go to that tempo. 1 big push out. 1, 2, 3, in. Last 2. On that last one, extend yourself all the way out. Bring yourself in. Bring that leg back to tabletop. Drop the left foot, heel onto the foot bar. Toes are flexed towards your nose. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, push yourself out. Bring yourself in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Controlling that carriage both ways. Last 3 going into those pulses. Last one here, come in halfway. We're pulsing it out. Little bitty pulses in and out. Stay away from the bumper. Use the glute to stop and control for 4, 3, 2, 1. Extend it all the way out, and let's bring it all the way in. Go ahead, drop your knees from side to side. And when you're ready, we're carefully going to come up on our carriage. We're going to lighten our springs here, taking off 1 red, 1 blue, just leaving ourselves with 1 heavy spring. Headrest can stay up. Go ahead, lie yourself down. You're going to grab your straps behind you. Once you have your straps behind you, you have the choice between the long loops or the short loops. Long loops are lighter. Short loops are heavier. Arms are coming right up over the shoulder blades. Abs are pulled in. You're going to find that neutral spine again. Both legs reaching to tabletop, pressing into those straps here. When you're ready, we're just going to begin with single arm press, double arm press. Both arms come down. Both arms resist up. So again, think of that tempo. 1 count down, 3 counts up, 2 to 3 counts up, depending on your tempo and your speed, how you like it. You still have that upper rib cage soft. You still have that neutral spine engaged. We're working on complete stability here, so staying stable through our core. We're going to go for 2 more. We're going to go into tricep press. On the next one, you're going to hold your arms down by your hips. We're going to bend at the elbows. They can be floating or they can be resting on the carriage mat. Choice is yours, depending on where you are. You just want to make sure that your elbows are not flaring out to the side. They want to be nice and tucked in towards your waistline. Fingertips are reaching long towards the foot bar. We have 3 more coming into circles, 6 in each direction. 1 more here. Next time your arms are long, hold it there. We're going to start with up circles coming up towards the clouds. Control the circle, open them out, sweep them down and around, bring them back to the hips. Stabilize the core here. Think about the upper rib cage not splaying as you bring those arms out to the side. We have 3 more in this up motion. Then we're going to reverse it into the down motion. Last one, when the arms come up over the shoulders, hold it there. Press the arms down, going for down circles, out and around. Last 2. Really challenging your time under tension with those legs in tabletop. Next time the arms come up for that up to the top, hold it there. Keep those legs squeezing together. Arms are reaching down by your side. You're going to hold them there. Now we're holding the upper body quiet. I want you to extend the left leg long. Carriage will be your feedback. If the carriage moves, hips are not stable. So using your arms by your side as you extend, alternating from left to right. Breathe in, breathe out. Remember, breathing is a tool, not a rule. Just do not hold your breath. Now we're going to start adding movement with our upper arms. So next time both legs come into table, hold. Bring the arms up. We're going to float the arms down, extend the right leg long. Bring the arms up, bring the right leg in. As the arms come down, the left leg comes long. Arms come up, left leg comes in. Right leg comes long. Now you're breathing in. You're also breathing out. We have 3. 2. Watch that neutral spine. You should be feeling it in your core here. Next time your legs come together, hold it there. Now we're going to extend one leg long. Allow that chest lift to happen. Reach long. Bring it back. Alternate from side to side. This is our last set here. Extending with the chest lift. If you are not comfortable doing that chest lift, by all means, stay with your head down. Choose where you are today. Think about getting those shoulders up, abs pulled in. Last 2. 1 left, 1 more right. Come up to the clouds. Feet come down. Go ahead, hang those straps up. Excellent job. We are staying on that 1 red spring. I am going to roll over onto my left hip, face you first, if you would do the same. Head rest can stay up here. I'm going to move a little bit down so my head is comfortable. I am a little away from the shoulder block. My bottom leg is coming underneath to support my body. My left foot is in line with my knee underneath it. So no full flat foot onto the bar, knees are equally apart. You want to think about your waistline lifted and your hips are stacked square to the wall in front of you. Flat-footed here. When you're ready, take an inhale. Exhale, I want you to push the carriage out. Now, it's not a heavy carriage, so resist the carriage in, and there is a reason that it's not heavy. So extend long, pull it in. Remember, it's not about strength today. It's about balance and stability. So light carriage means we're going to have to stabilize through our obliques to control that carriage. Let's go for 4. 3. On this last one, I want you to come all the way into the stopper. You're staying at the stopper here. You're releasing your top foot off of the foot bar. You're extending it long. Now, don't let your hips open up to the wall or the ceiling in front of you. You want them to stay square to the wall in front of you on your side. Foot can be relaxed, pointed or flexed, your choice. Going for abduction, you're going to lift and lower. Now, it's not about how high a rocket can lift their legs. It's about how you can stabilize with your abdominals lifted, waistline off the carriage mat. Your hips are stacked and squared. We're going for 4 more, lower and lifts. My feet have a tendency to cramp, so I try not to cue them. Next time that leg comes back right over or hover over that foot bar, hold it there. We're going in for little circles. Now watch your hip. Keep it square to the wall in front of you. Little circles, probably the size of a softball. Circling it out and around, back and down. Still keep those obliques lifted off the side. Breathe. Last one in this direction. You should feel that glute firing. Let's hold down at the bottom. Let's reverse. Go towards the front. Again, watching your hips stay quiet and stable. Carriage is your feedback. If it's moving, you're not stabilizing. Last 2. Last 1. Go ahead, bend that knee on in. Hit that hip. Great job. We're going to roll onto our back. You can carefully stretch that hip out for a moment. Push out on that knee. And we're going to rinse and repeat on the other side. So now my right side is down. I'm going to bring my right hip, my left hip stacked over my right hip. My foot is in line with my knee underneath on the carriage. So head is down, coming a little bit away from the shoulder blocks. Waistline is lifted. Take an inhale. Exhale, push the carriage out. Resist it in. Keep the knee in line with the hip instead of dropping the knee towards the knee on the carriage. Last 3. For 2. Last 1. Go ahead, bring it all the way in. Relax the leg on the carriage. Leg on the foot bar comes long. Hips square to the wall in front of you. Let foot relax, point or flex, whichever you choose. You're going to lift the leg, lower the leg. Lift and lower. You still want those waistline lifted. Hips are stacked. We are a long line. For 3. 1, when that leg comes back, a little hovering over the foot bar, we're coming into those up circles. So stabilize the pelvis, keep the carriage quiet. Last 2, reversing those circles. Go ahead, reverse. For 3, 2, and 1. Excellent job. Go ahead, bring that knee on in. Hit that hip. Give yourself a moment. You can float on to your back. Give yourself just a little bit of a glute stretch. Push out on that knee. Flex that foot. And then we are making a position change. So we are carefully going to come up on our carriage. We're staying on that 1 heavy, 1 red spring. But I am going to come to a quadruped position. So I am coming, I'm going to bring my headrest down. My feet are going to come equally distanced apart, and my toes are coming underneath my shoulder blocks. Now, choice 1 is for your hands to be on the platform. Choice 2 is for your hands to be on the foot bar. You choose where you want to be. We're staying in a flat back. So your abs are drawn in, your shoulders are back. We're just going to begin with double arm presses here. So gaze is over the tip of your nose. Draw the abs in. Exhale, push yourself back. Staying flat in the back. Inhale, bring yourself in. Bring the chest right over the arms, right over the foot bar. Again, push yourself back, keeping those abs quiet. You're moving your arms right now, upper body, moving from the shoulder sockets. Everything else is quiet. Last 2. And we're going to move from the elbows. On this last one, you're going to hold yourself out. You're going to hold it there. Still a flat back. Draw those abs towards the spine. Bend the elbows, come in. Nose comes over the foot bar, past the foot bar. Push it away. Inhale. Breathe out as you exhale, as you push away. Breathe in. Breathe out. Last 3. 2. Last one, come all the way in. Now everyone's hands come down to the platform. Shoulders are over your wrist. Shoulders are backing down away from the ears. Hips are square to the carriage underneath you. You're thinking about drawing the carriage towards the stopper so your abs are engaged. Now, I want you to think about lifting your left foot off the shoulder block. So you're either lifting it, relaxing your knee is still pressing down. Option 2, lift the leg, extend it long. Now the hip naturally wants to open. Square it to the wall underneath you. You're thinking about pushing the carriage towards the foot bar. You're stabilizing through your core. If you feel okay here, foot is pointed. You're going to extend the opposite arm. For me is the right arm. If your carriage starts shaking, moving, I feel mine trembling underneath me. Pelvis stability. Find it. Breathe it in. Breathe it out. Hold for 3, 2, and 1. Bring the right arm down, left leg in. Both hands come back to the foot bar. You have the option to stay down. This time we're going to come in with a rounded spine. So shoulders are back and down. You're going to extend yourself out with a flat back. Now, as you extend yourself out, I want you to draw the abs in. Pull yourself in with the abs as far as you can. Hips towards the heels of your palms, and then bring it back in. Send the hips back. Find that flat back. Push out. Extend. Lift the bum. Draw the abs in, round the spine. Pull the carriage in with that rounded spine. As you come in, you're going to sit the hips back. We have one more here going into that bird dog on the other side. Great job. Both hands come back to the platform. All right, shoulders are down, abs are pulled in, flat spine. I'm now going to begin with my right leg. So I'm lifting my right leg long. Naturally, my hip likes to hike. Squaring the hips down, stabilizing through the core, squaring the shoulders out. Once I feel stable here, remember my carriage is feedback. You're going to reach that arm long. You're going to stabilize through the core. Carriage is moving, telling me I'm not as strong as I think I am. So I'm going to find my center. I'm going to stabilize. Remember, shaking. It's not about if you shake. It's about knowing how to handle it when you do shake. We're holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Right leg comes down, left arm comes down. Come into child's pose. One quick stretch here. Extend the carriage all the way out. Sit those hips back. And then go ahead, bring yourself in. I am going to step over towards the left side, towards the right side of my carriage, excuse me. We're coming into scooters, so we're staying on that red spring here. My outside foot, which is my right foot, is basically in line with my foot on the carriage. Both hands coming to the foot bar to begin. Foot is up against the shoulder blocks. Your abs are pulled in, shoulders away. You're going to lift the knee. You're going to extend the carriage out. Now we're going to advance this pretty quickly so you stay where you need to stay. So as a beginner, we always used our hands to hold on to the foot bar, staying hinged at the hips. Now, if you feel safe here, and we've been doing this for a couple weeks now, you can go ahead, take one hand off, maybe bring it to your hip. Maybe just come to your fingertips. Maybe just come to hands in prayer, still staying hinged at the hips. Or for a more advanced option, you can come in to standing with a straight up torso. So decide where you are today as we go for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring that carriage all the way in. Let's go ahead, place that knee down. Leg is coming underneath the foot bar. We're going to send those shoulders down. We're going to bring our weight into our standing leg. Now, we're coming into a glute stretch, so a quad stretch. So go ahead, grab the foot bar with the opposite hand, and then you're going to reach in. Now you want to tuck that pelvis all the way in. towards your spine. Relax the shoulders. Knee comes back down, foot comes back to the shoulder block. Foot stays on the floor exactly where it is. Both hands to the foot bar to begin. Coming into that lunge, coming into that hip flexor stretch. Option here, you come in, you keep the knee down, extend it out with one hand, maybe one finger. You also have the option to come with a straight torso. Option 2, the knee comes off. You come up for that lunge, holding on with one hand. Maybe just a finger. Again, maybe just hinge at the hips. Or you come up with a straight torso. All ways to increase your work. Let's go for 3, 2, really pushing through the weight of the standing foot. Last one. Bring the carriage all the way in and carefully turn and face your carriage. All right, leaving your foot bar where it is. If it's up at the highest notch, you might want to drop it down a little bit, but mine is completely fine where it is. So I'm going to step my right foot onto the platform. Always step onto your stable surface first, and then we are going to step up onto the carriage. Now, the closer you have your foot towards the ends of the carriage, the harder the work is. The further you have your foot away from the edge of the carriage, the easier the work is. So you choose where you want to be. Remember, hinge at the hips is always the safest option. We're going to go ahead, stand both legs up. We're just going to go into side splits, open and close. So abs are pulled in, pelvis is tucked forward. Remember, if this doesn't feel natural for you or you're scared, hinge at your hips and do the same work. It just helps your balance. So once you're ready, any position you're choosing, you're opening the carriage not very wide, and then you're pulling the carriage back in. You're thinking about that inner leg, squeezing those inner thighs as you pull in. Now you're stopping with the inner thigh, not hitting the bumper, extending it out. Breathe out and in. So again, if you feel uncomfortable standing here, you can always have a pole, you can have a stick, you can have a curtain rod, whatever you choose. Let's go for 3. Last 2. On this next one, I want you to come in, but not next to the stopper. I want you to be away from the stopper. Now, depending how hard you want this, I'm going to shimmy my leg just a little bit over, just a little bit more. My knees are equally spaced, might be a little wider than my hips. We're going to hold the carriage quiet as we squat down, weight to our heels, and stand it up. Squat it down and stand, trying to keep the carriage as quiet as possible. Stand it up, squeeze the glutes as you stand, squat it down. Let's go for 3. 2. And 1. Great job. Go ahead, close the carriage. Let's step ourselves back. And we are going to repeat the same thing over on the other side. So we're going to start with those scooters first. So this time, my right foot's coming onto the carriage. My left foot is coming in line with my right foot. Safety first, both hands down. Knee is lifted. You're pushing the carriage away. You're resisting it in. Option to take a hand off. Just hold with one hand, really pressing through that standing glute. Third option, both hands off, hands at prayer, still hinged at the hips. Final option, standing yourself up. There are more options than this, but this is where we're going to stop. We're going for 3, 2, and 1. Let's bring it all the way in. Knee comes down. Standing leg comes in front. We're going to go ahead, hinge at the hips. You have the option to keep the knee down. I'm not going to go through all of them again, so just extend the leg. Both hands come into that lunge. Lift. Option of one hand, lower. Option of no hands. And then option with straight torso coming up and down. You're still going to hinge because of the 90 split, but you're okay. Let's go for 2. And 1. Great job. Bring that carriage in. Shake those legs on out. And we are now going to step up. So my left foot is coming onto the stable surface as my right foot is coming onto the carriage. Remember, the further away your foot is from the edge of the carriage, the little easier it will be. Legs are equally distanced apart. We're just going to begin with those open and closes. So you're going to open up, not too wide. You just want to activate those inner thighs. Pull the carriage back in. Exhale, extend. Inhale, bring it in, or whichever way you're choosing to breathe. Depending on the exercise, it's just muscle memory for me. Let's go for 3. We're going to come where that carriage is away from the bumper for 2. Last one, you're pulling it all the way in. You're going to sit the hips back. Carriage stays quiet. Bring it up. Squeeze the glutes at the top. Lower. And lift. Carriage is your feedback here. Last 3. For 2. And 1. Go ahead, bring that carriage all the way in. Carefully step yourself back. All right, I'm going to stay facing away. We're going to finish up with those mermaids. So I'm going to start facing away from you. So my right shin is coming up against the shoulder block. My left foot is coming into a figure 4. I'm still staying on that one red spring. My left arm is quite a little bit in front of my left shoulder. Right arm is reaching long. We're going to come up over for lateral flexion. Really get up and over. Think about that opposite hip shooting down towards the carriage. You're going to rotate your waist towards the springs. And because we didn't do much extension or any extension today, I want you to bend the elbows, come all the way in, lift that chest to the wall in front of you, and drop it down. Lift and lower. One more here. Next time you pull yourself in, you're going to take your outside hands, move it back in front line of the opposite of the same shoulder. Bring yourself back up over, unwind yourself, bring your hands into the headrest, and drop yourself into the counter stretch. Once you come back up to center, both hands come to the corner of your carriage mat, and you're carefully just going to switch your legs so you're in the mermaid position for the other side. Right hand is in front of the right shoulder. Left arm is reaching long. Coming in for lateral flexion. I'm going to rotate my upper thoracic towards the springs. I'm going to lift my chest without bending my arms as my gaze comes up to the wall in front of me, giving myself some back and chest expansion. One more. When you come all the way back in to the stopper, go ahead, bring the hands up and over. Come out, unwind, and let's go into the counter stretch to the opposite side. All right, let's go ahead. Relax those shoulders. Bring your feet up in front of you. And that is today's workout. I hope you enjoyed episode 6. There are 4 more episodes to go until we complete this Reformer 101 series. I hope you enjoyed this workout. And like always, please like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you next Tuesday. Bye.